Her agenda is by now so obscure, we can't even say, except that she's got a puppet, and the puppet is Harry.
I got no strings to hold me down, to make me fret or make me frown.
Meghan and Harry finally did it. They're moving up in the world. Meghan had a dog named after her, and a flight attendant on a plane ride back from London to LA got a Harry surprise. But the couple shouldn't pop the champagne just yet. Spotify just fired the Meghans, and Netflix, well, they're just next. Then we learned that the delusional Duke not only proved himself a fool in court, but also an oath breaker. And that's just bad news, because even Hollywood frowns on traitors. So my advice to the Meghans is, next time you think your ship's coming in, make sure it's not named Titanic. What's going on, everybody? I hope all of you had a phenomenal weekend, my friends. My best wishes to you and yours. Meghan and Harry are checking more items off their bucket list. Tomorrow, they're going to start needing to look for jobs because in a sight of things to come, Walmart Wallace was just dumped. Meghan Markle's Archetypes podcast is axed by Spotify. Streaming platform in Sussex has agreed to part ways with royal pair set to lose full payout due to low productivity. In plain English, low productivity means you're fired.
Fired? What do you mean, fired?
You're done. You failed. You're getting no money. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord splits you.
You're being let go. Your department is being downsized. You're part of an outplacement. We're going in a different direction. We're not picking up your option. Take your pick.
So the couple's going to part this Spotify relationship without their $20 million payout. And some people over at the streaming service, you know what? They weren't really happy with Mr. and Mrs. Has-Been, never was from the beginning. But now they're thrilled that they're gone.
Is Prince Harry. Whines about shit. Like, keeps giving interviews. Who gives a shit?
I'm with you. Yeah, that's
I can't stand him. So tired. I'm so embarrassed that I fucking have to share Spotify with him. The guy sucks.
Well, let's just.
I wish I had been involved in the Meghan and Harry leave Spotify negotiation. The fucking grifters. That's the podcast we should have launched with them.
On the bright note, you got Meghan now has more time on her hands to polish the Gracie Awards she won for the podcast that she thought was beneath her to even show up to the ceremony to collect. Pretty much how she treated her castmates in Suits.
But a large number of the people in Suits, sort of didn't jive with her. And somebody said, she's just not somebody you can be friends with. But you never actually get to know this person. You can't touch her. You can't get through the glass. These women have everything and they want everything.
To top it all off, her public poll numbers are crashing at the very same time that the palace extended an olive branch to Harry and let him know that he's welcome back home anytime minus Meghan. Of course, that was before the hater and the hustler restarted their royal revenge tour, insulted the king, disrespected Queen Elizabeth before spitting on her grave. In the High Court of Justice, in the matter of Mirror Newspapers hacking litigation between HRH Duke of Sussex claimant and Mirror Group Newspapers limited defendant. No, I'm not calling him His Royal Highness. He hadn't earned it. Those days are long gone. As a matter of fact, Harry transformed a long time ago from a prince into a problem child, and then after he married Meghan, from a hater into a bona fide traitor. And a lot of people seem to think so today. Royal fans are calling Prince Harry out on Twitter for misusing royal titles in his bombshell court testimony. Intentional? Of course it was intentional. We got the receipts. The Meghans turned themselves into unprincipled pretzels with all of their flip-flops.
If this wasn't going to work out, then we would be willing to relinquish our Sussex titles if need be. So that's the plan. That was the plan.
So originally what they're saying is they didn't mind giving up the titles because, see, they wanted to gain all that public sympathy and use it against the palace as pressure to get what they wanted. But none of their wishes came true. So now it's time they want them back.
Why not renounce your titles as Duke and Duchess?
And what difference would that make?
See, I'm trying to figure out what is their long-term scheme. So I'm not an attorney, and I asked a couple of friends of mine who are. And what they advised me is that Harry, by injecting HRH into the court, he can use that as a precedent for an appeal for the case he just lost. The case where he wanted to be able to pay for his armed police protection. Yeah, that one. He can be able to turn around to a judge and say, see, in that other court case, they acknowledge me as His Royal Highness. That means I'm owed royal protection. And now I'm not even going to pretend to want to pay for it. Except what concerns me more is not that sin, but that a grandson dishonored his grandmother. With a queen's blessing, the Sussexes, while they can no longer formally represent the queen, The Sussexes will not use their HRH titles as they are no longer working members of the royal family. The statement is crystal clear. The Queen stripped the Duke of Delusion and his duplicitous Duchess of their HRH, which means they don't represent the crown, they're not entitled to a salary, no one has to bow down to them, and they receive zero royal protection.
You get nothing.
Those are the facts.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal.
Anything else the House of Montecito says is just a continuation of their long con.
He's made it clear that we are all just to call him Harry. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a big, warm Scottish welcome to Harry.
The reality is, the couple have bashed the monarchy and then trashed royal life morning, noon, and night. And now all of a sudden, they want to weasel their way back into British taxpayers' pockets for each average citizen to pay for their whining, multi-millionaire lifestyle. Don't believe them. Don't be fooled by them. But that is their endgame, my friends. And I tell you what, listening to Flip Flop Flo and her fool speak out of both sides of their mouth is like hugging a rose bush. You get a mouthful of thorns and a head full of pain.
It's almost 5 in the morning. When she's waking up, it does this.
Oh my God, we're just circling. What is wrong with these people?
We also found out that Harry and Meghan dialed up a lot of fake drama for the Netflix cameras.
The paparazzi is coming. The paparazzi is coming.
You know, at one time, many people would have believed them. Because in the past, lies would travel around the world faster than the truth could put its shoes on. But in 2023, the truth will out in a flash.
Tom Sykes reveals today that Meghan tipped the police off, tipped the drone, the paparazzi off, where she could be found. She wanted her privacy invaded.
Sunlight is the best disinfectant. It pierces through the darkness and allows us to understand Meghan's relationship with these make-an-appointment paparazzi that Tom Bauer exposed this week, along with other correspondents who have blown this story wide open. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle whined about photographers flying over their sprawling California mansion in the final drop of their Netflix documentary series. But what the outspoken royal renegades failed to disclose was that they leaked their own whereabouts to the tabloid media too. Now that's the second confirmation after Barra and the final nail in the coffin. See, Adam and Eve have been using the paparazzi and setting them up for years. They'd reach out to them, make an appointment, then show up for some snaps, build a little bit of buzz, and grab a few headlines. Then they would use those very same headlines to go back after the paparazzi and attack the press for invading their privacy. It's like two birds with one stone, or two birds for one mega mouthful of lies.
And so if you're just trying to grab someone's attention and keep it, you're going for something salacious versus something truthful.
By the way, if you enjoy the channel, please do me a favor. Watch the video from beginning till end, because the longer you watch, the more it helps YouTube rank the video and share it with the world. Thank you, my friends, for all your incredible support. So this week, we also proved one more time why the couple is disliked by the public, because the Meghans continue to try to use people to turn a quick buck, and then when they're caught, they try to come out smelling like roses, like they didn't do anything. And Harry's court case simply confirmed it. From day one, Harry ignored the judge's orders and didn't show up. How do you think you and I would play if we did that? Like if we told our attorney, you go tell the judge, and he's like, Your Honor, my client isn't here right now because he's overcoming jet lag. You think any one of us would have gotten away with it? Not a single one. Zero. But see, in Harry's mind, this isn't a trial, because a trial is all about facts. And we know already what the half-wit thinks of those.
Whatever the cause, my memory is my memory. It does what it does, gathers and curates as it sees fit. And there's just as much truth in what I remember and how I remember it as there is in so-called objective facts.
I've never heard such a lot of bullshit in my life.
This wasn't a court case to Harry, but a personal truth campaign masquerading his real motivations. Prince Harry says he is taking legal action to stop hate towards him and Meghan. That is it in full living color. From beginning to end, part of it is about Meghan, and part of it is about a willing hostage wanting to prove to his handler just how much he loves her. Because only a fool filled with so much hate and hubris would ever bring a case to court without any evidence. Prince Harry tells High Court judge he is not aware of any evidence he was hacked by the Mirror, but insists it would be an injustice if he lost his case against them as he finishes his second day on the stand.
You serious?
That's the real truth in a nutshell. It's feelings over facts, paranoia over evidence, and pride over the promise of an oath kept by a prince to his king and country. You know what's more embarrassing than this lawsuit that Harry brought against the UK? It's that in the same week he started advertising that his mug and mouth were for hire. The political mind of the century, the man who couldn't tell the difference between foreign policy and his frozen toddler. The grift never ends with these people, but we're going to set that aside. Let's now run down the damage that Hurricane Harry caused this last 2 weeks. First, he mocked the court. Then he insulted the Queen. Then he dragged his former love, Chelsea Davy, her husband, and her new child back into the drama of the public eye, something she's always wanted to avoid these last few years. And before he was finished, he abused his position and broke his oath as a counselor of state by attacking the United Kingdom. It is one thing for him to pursue his legal claims, as is his right, against alleged illegal media activity. It is quite another for him to attack His Majesty's government, declaring it to be at rock bottom. If that wasn't enough, Harry then attacked his father. Instead of calling him His Majesty King Charles III, he named him in the witness statement His Royal Highness. See, Harry's not a stranger to royal protocol. He knows that. So this isn't a sleight of hand. This is a direct stab to the heart of his father. Now we might be getting a clear picture of why the king is so upset. Harry and Meghan's not welcome at major historic royal family event for first time ever. There will be a huge deviation in traditional norms, and it is the first time in history a sovereign has not invited all his children to take part in Trooping the Color. Now, the Meghans were not only banished from the official birthday for the British sovereign, but one more time they decided to insult the king and reject his birthday gift to their daughter. Now, see, the couple, they know better than that. They just want to continue to cause him pain. So within the same 48 hours, they added insult to injury and salted the wound by accepting a gender-neutral bicycle, a gift to Archie from a complete stranger. Now, if you were the king, how would you feel?
That's not for me to decide.
So I think it's time that we cleanse our palates with a little bit of great news. We're going to watch two royals who share their love for the people and shine through. We got Prince William first. Unlike his brother Harry, who uses Princess Diana's names to fatten his wallet, William continues the work she started in 1992 by supporting Centerpoint. It's a homeless shelter which opens its door to children ages 16 to 25 years of age. And now for the best part. We get to watch a true royal princess shine as she has a little bit of wholesome fun. That was brilliant. We need more people like them in the world who walk it like they talk it, who truly hold on to their character and set a good example. And to get there, all we got to do is remember that we never bow down, we never bend the knee. Always forward. Remember that we never bow down, we never bend the knee. Motherfucker.